These are the supplies you will need to start your trifold: scissors, X-Acto knife, some sort of plastic 4ID, a ruler. I'm actually using 3 different types of tape. You can use 2. Some sort of clear tape so we can cover up the sticky in our pockets, and a cutting surface. Okay, for the first part, you're going to need 2 strips of tape for your interior, your billfold color that is 9.5 inches long. For your pattern outside color, you want 3 strips that are 10.5 inches long. And you want to lay these as close as you can without having to use the 1/4 inch mark if possible. So I'm not sure if you can see that because of the light, but you're just barely overlapping it. So it's a little more than 3.5. Yeah, as you can see here, it's about 3 3/4 inches wide here. So after peeling that up, you're just going to flip it over, sticky side up, like that. You're going to take one of your outside color strips and overlap it, and you want to leave at least a 1/2 inch from the bottom here, from the sticky. So I'm going to start my strip right about here and lay it down. And then I'm going to take my second strip of tape and just overlap that by 1/4 of an inch. And as you can see, we still have a little bit of space to fill at the top here to cover this up. You want to cover 1/2 inch of that. So take your last strip of tape and cut it in half lengthwise. So this is what you should have right now. Just going to take that strip of tape and barely overlap it. So it's going to give you something like this. You're going to cut out your boxes. And you can trim down your edges after you're finished. I like to do that in the end. Okay, so now you should have something like this. This is going to be your outside. Now we're going to work on the inside of our billfold. So you'll need 2 strips of tape that are 9.5 inches long for the inside of your billfold color and for the outside of your billfold color. So you should have a total of 4 strips that are 9.5 inches long. You're going to take your inside color of your billfold and line it up just like we did for the outer part by barely overlapping it like that. You're going to peel it up. So you're just going to take your first strip, and you're not overlapping it by 1 inch. You're just going to cover it up just like a duct tape sheet. So now you should just have a double-sided duct tape sheet. Now we are working on our hidden pockets. So you're going to need 4 strips of 3-inch tape. I also have 4 3-inch strips of clear tape to cover my back. So you're going to take the 2 strips and line your first one up down to your straight edge. Take your second one, and you're just going to overlap it by just a little bit, like you did on your billfold earlier. So what you should have is something that looks like this. It'll be 3 3/4 inches on the side. So again, 1, 2, 3 3/4 inches. Take one of your 3-inch strips of clear tape, which I know is very difficult to see. And you're just going to line it up and cover it like you would a duct tape sheet. And take another one Oops. And do the same thing. So now you should have one hidden pocket. So go ahead and do the same thing to your next one. Okay, now we're going to work on our pockets. I'm going to show you how to do 2 of them. And the reason why is because the top pocket is a little longer than the bottom pocket. So I want you to know exactly what measurements you need for this. I'm showing you 2. You're going to do all 4 of them or you're going to do the other 2 by yourself. So in order to do this, you're going to need a total of 16 strips of 3-inch tape. I personally like to do 8 of my outside color, and then I do the back side with clear tape. So you would need 8 of your pocket color 3-inch strips, and you need 8 of the clear 3-inch strips. I'm showing you with gray tape so that way you can kind of see what I mean by the adhesive at the bottom, and that way it's easier to see. So to get started, I'll show you. Take one of your pockets down to the 1/4 inch mark there. You can see it down here. It's just a 1/4 of an inch from your line. You're going to take your second strip of tape up to your 3-inch mark. So now you should have a strip or a pocket that is, or not a pocket quite yet, but a strip that is 3 1/4 inches. So you're going to take one strip of your clear tape or gray tape, whatever you're using. You're going to go up 1/4 of an inch, like that. And so as you can see, I have a 1/4 inch sticky at the bottom. And you're going to take your next strip, and I laid them like this bottom to top, because if you go from the top and then the bottom, then you have a lip in the back where your card can get stuck on. So that's why you start at the bottom first. Now you take your second strip and go all the way up to the top. So now you have a pocket that is 3 1/4 inches. The 1/4 inch is sticky. So that you're going to do 2 pockets this size. This will be your top pocket. For your second pocket, it's going to be 3 inches. So take it down to your inch mark, your line, and then your second one up to the top. So this one will be a total of 3 inches, where the other one is 3 1/4. You're going to flip it over, take your clear tape or gray tape, put your first strip. And remember, once again, my grain is going downward. You don't want it sticking up. You're going to lay your pocket flat. I like to take it down to the 1/4 inch because, once again, we're leaving 1/4 inch of sticky. And you start from the bottom once again and lay that strip down. You're going to take your second strip of tape and go right up to the top. Like that. And don't worry if you have a little bit of leftover stuff on the side. We're going to trim these down to 2 3/4 inches after we have all of our pockets made. So remember, top pocket is 3 1/4 inches on the side with 1/4 inch sticky. Bottom pocket is 3 inches with a 1/4 of an inch of adhesive at the bottom. So you're going to need 2 of the top pockets and 2 of the bottom pocket. Okay, now it's time to trim our pocket. You're going to need 2 strips of your trim color that are 3 inches long. You're going to cut lengthwise right down the middle. If you don't have these little dots on your mat like I do on mine, I always use the mats to 1/4 inch. If you don't, you can use a ruler and measure it down to the 1/4 inch like that, and then just take your straight edge of your tape and lay it right on that spot. So now you just flip it over and fold over your sticky. So now you have one pocket trimmed. Now you're going to cut these down. You want it to be 2 3/4 of an inch. So when I laid mine down, I like to make sure that it's a little over each line. So I can just use my ruler and go down to the 3/4 of an inch. And then up here again at the beginning of the pocket, just that way both ends have a nice straight edge. And you want to do this with a not so dull blade Mine is actually really dull, so I'm just going to peel those off. Or you can just use your scissors, whatever works best for you. So as you can see now, it's trimmed down to 2 3/4. Okay, now we're going to do our ID. You should have some sort of piece of plastic that is 3 3/4 inches wide and or long, and then you have the 2 1/4 inch. So it's 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 inch. Your ID plastic should be. We're going to cut one strip of tape that is 3 3/4. You're going to cut it in a 1/2 inch, so you need 2 1/2 inch strips from it. Oops. You're going to take the 1/2 inch and trim your ID with that. So it's pretty easy to do this since you don't need a ruler, because you can see your line right on your mat. So you're just going to take it to the 1/4 inch and fold over your remaining sticky. Just like that. The next 1/2 inch strip. Okay, you're just going to cover the bottom of it. It can be 1/4 of an inch, or it could be part of a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, now you should have your pockets trimmed and cut down to 2 3/4 of an inch, including the little pieces that we made earlier for your hidden pockets. Make sure those are trimmed down to 2 3/4 of an inch as well. And you're going to need 2 3-inch strips of clear tape, and you're going to cut them in half. So I have mine already pre-cut here, so you should have a total of 4 halves that are 3 inches, or I'm sorry, 2 3/4 inches. So you're going to take your hidden pocket, and you're going to make sure once again that your green is going downward. You don't want the lip facing up, you want it facing down. Grab your tall pocket, so this would be the pocket that is 3 1/4 inches. Go down a 1/2 inch. So once again, if you don't have these little dots on your cutting mat, just use a ruler. So now I placed my first pocket. Now I'm going to take my short pocket, and I'm going to go down just a tad bit. Like that. So now I have both. You can test it out with a card if you'd like, and as you can tell, it doesn't show over. So now you know your pockets are just where you want them at. You're going to take one of your clear strips of tape, pull your pockets backward, and so at the very bottom where it has that adhesive, you're going to place your clear tape right across that, and that's going to make it so you don't get that card gunk at the very bottom of your cards. So now it will slide in very nicely because you got your grain facing downward. So once again, grab another of those 3-inch or little 1/2 of a 3-inch strip of tape, and you're going to do the same thing here, and just lay it flat on it like that. Press it down, pull it up, and then now your pockets should be nicely lined. And if you have any remaining at the very bottom here, you can either cut it off or just fold it over like that. So there is your first pocket. Go ahead and do your second one like I have here. Okay, now we are going to put it together. You're going to need your outside panel for this part, or I'm sorry, your interior part, your 2 pockets that you made, the hidden pockets with your pockets attached, your ID that is trimmed, and the extra piece of tape that we had in the very beginning of the video. So first you're going to place this down, and when you place this down, you want to make sure once again that the green is going flat, smooth, it's going straight down. So the 2 pieces of tape that meet together, the little lip there, it should be facing down, not up. Okay, so lay that down flat. Take one of your pockets that has a smooth edge, put it up against the side here, and do the same thing to this end. Next, we're going to figure out where we put our ID at. So, I like to go about 3 1/2 inches down to place my ID. Once again, if you don't have the dots, you can use a ruler and just stick it down, and all this excess that you see at the bottom, it can be trimmed down, so that's fine. Take that strip of tape that you saved from the very beginning of the video, and we're going to place it down 1/4 of an inch on the top. So if you don't have the dots, use a ruler, go 1/4 of an inch, all up, and then you can fold over your remaining. Okay, now it's time to put it together. So grab your outer part that we did in the very beginning of the video and trim down your sides to about, I do my sticky adhesive part a little more than 1/4 of an inch. So mine is almost a 1/2 inch. So you're going to take the smallest edge that you have here and fold it inward. This is going to be the lip part of your billfold. Fold it across. You're going to take the bottom part of your billfold, or the interior part of your billfold, and lay it flat down at the bottom like that. Fold up your sticky like that. Make sure it's straight. Yes. You're going to open it up, because now you have that adhesive at the bottom here. And you can cover this up with another piece of black tape if you like, or you can do clear tape. I'm going to do clear tape. Okay, so I just have a strip of clear tape. I'm going to sit right down in the middle of where the adhesive is. Try not to cover any of my adhesive on the sides. So anyways, after you have that down, you're just going to fold it back up like that and fold in your sides. And there you go. Now you need to cut out your pockets. I'm sorry, your little slits for your pockets. So, however you cut your pockets, everybody cuts their pockets a little different. Don't forget to cut out the pocket down here for your hidden, and up here at the top for your hidden, and also for your ID. And once again down here for your other hidden and your pockets. So once you have that all done, you can fold your trifold and press it. You can put it under a book, or pretty much anything that's heavy. Anything will help that is heavy, and then it will just fold open either way. So yeah, you can even put a roll of tape on top of it just to hold it down. You need something really heavy to press it, unless you're waiting to press it for a customer. It's totally up to you. So that is your trifold tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and if so, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And if you would like to see a different type of tutorial, just list it down below in the comments. I would be happy to consider it. So thank you again, everybody, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!